Oh, hello, everybody. Hello, and good afternoon. So, I found a clip that was very interesting, and I've been looking at NASA, online NASA, and that, and it just blows my mind that NASA has all these satellites and that up in space, supposedly, right? And supposedly, the firmament is water, right? I know you've seen a video of that air balloon that supposedly went up and touched it and was basically going through it like a water and that. But it's all AI. I'm gonna tell you, it's all bullcrap. But these meteors, it just baffles me on the occurrences and more of them that are happening, especially this year. So something's about to happen, like I've been saying, and I'm gonna keep saying. It's getting closer and closer to stuff gonna happen. So listen to this.
It's a 7-ton meteor shooting across the sky. The sonic boom heard over multiple states. The meteor 6 feet in diameter, the ground shaking. Here's Rhiannon Alley tonight.
Tonight, NASA says this bright red fireball streaking through the sky, moving at 40,000 miles per hour and seen from at least 10 states, is a rare daylight meteor crashing into Earth. The asteroid bursting through the Earth's atmosphere, sending loud sonic booms, rattling homes from Ohio to Kentucky. The blast so powerful it shook the ground, the rumbling registering on a seismograph.
It was just like a boom, like that.
The meteor seen just before 9 a.m. for barely 5 seconds, traveling more than 34 miles in the upper atmosphere before breaking apart above Medina, Ohio, and seen across the Northeast.
Anybody see or hear what blew up? Definitely too big for fireworks. We felt the shockwave. We're not sure what it is, but it was big.
NASA says the meteor near...
Could you imagine, guys, in the climate that we're in right now, and I'm not talking about the weather, I'm talking about the geopolitical climate with the war in Iran. You seeing this? These people probably for a second thought this was a missile, but they thought we was probably under attack by a bomb or a nuclear attack or whatnot.
Nearly 6 feet in diameter, weighing roughly 7 tons, lit up the sky. It was even spotted by a NOAA satellite in space, unleashing the same amount of energy as 250 tons of TNT.
This thing just broke apart violently, scattered fragments everywhere, and this explosion generated a shock wave or a pressure wave that traveled to the ground, and that's the explosions people saw.
Aisha Jones lives in Maple Heights outside Cleveland and had just put her small children down for a nap when she says her house shook.
I immediately thought that somebody ran into my house or something big had hit the house.
David NASA says what makes this so uncommon is that it went over a populated area. And while 40,000 miles per hour is really fast for a human, it's actually slow for a meteor.
All right, then that takes us to California and Texas. Check it out.
Streaking across the night sky. The latest in a string of stellar sightings seen here overnight in California.
Whoa!
And Space City living up to its name.
Did y'all see that?
With this one Saturday afternoon in Houston.
There's going to be an explosion. A meteorite or missile fell out of the sky.
Traveling at 35,000 miles per hour, NASA says.
That's where it came in at.
Part of it.
I just want to see one of these one time. I've never seen this. I'm just saying, I've never seen it. I don't ever get a chance to see one of these things in real life, and it would be so cool to see that.
Crashing through this woman's roof, leaving a massive crater.
And just boom, then I heard a boom.
The meteor was about 3 feet in diameter, NASA.
Now stop. Guys, this happened here in my state last year. The same thing. Boom, daylight meteor, and it went through a roof of a guy's house in Georgia. This also happened in Germany within, a couple weeks ago. So it's not just the U.S., but it happened in Germany as well. All three of these went through the roof, went into their home, fragments.
It says, and weighed about a ton before it broke apart in the sky, sending researchers and hunters alike to this park, searching for fragments.
Yeah, so I found 2 meteorites this morning.
So how does it feel?
I was very excited. It was very exciting to find it and know that you're holding something that just 2 days ago was in space.
3 galactic spectacles in the past week, experts say.
size of meteor is pretty big. You can see the fireball more easily.
An out-of-this-world experience that one need only look up to see. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News, Spring, Texas.
Now this is, I want to show you this video. This is from TikTok. This is from Fox 26 Mike. Fox 26 Mike. And I want you to hear what he says, because this, from what I understand, this guy is a meteorologist. That's what I'm assuming here. And people have been, of course, flooding in, asking him, what is this? You know, what's your opinion on this? So this is what he said. I found this interesting.
Fourth time in just 1 week, a giant fireball meteor has been spotted in the skies. This time, once again, over the Midwest in Ohio. It just happened yesterday. So this is now number 4. There was one in Ohio on the 17th, one in Texas that crashed through a roof, one in California, and then this other latest one in the Ohio, Michigan.
Now that's just in America, guys. This is happening, again, 6 countries, not just America.
Area. So what is going on? Let's deal with this.
Right.
Is it all the same thing? Did something break apart? Don't know 100% yet. There are a couple of possible explanations from what I can see. The most likely explanation is that it's all just a coincidence. And
Really? It's all just a coincidence, guys.
that more people are just looking to the sky, and that more people have phones now, and more people are reporting.
Oh, come on. People drive the interstates all the time, every single day. They're out every day in transit, travel, work. And you seeing something like that going across the sky, it's going to catch your attention. It's not because we're just looking up and because we have smartphones. That's ridiculous. So I find that kind of humorous there.
Meteors. That's one explanation. You can take it or leave it.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
Another explanation is that maybe the Earth is moving through a debris field of some sort. There are lots of parts in our orbit that we go through. Most of the time we call them meteor showers that are lined up with certain constellations. Like we have the Leonid meteor showers, we have the Perseid meteor showers, the Geminid, and it's all because of a certain time of the year when we have this cluster of debris in the Earth's orbit that we pass through, and it ends up lighting up the sky with predictable meteors.
Right, but do you remember last year it being this active? I don't. We do this year after year. We've done this, for years, for decades. And I don't remember a year being this active with this many.
In this case, we're not going through one of those periods, at least not that we know of right now, so it may just be some random cluster of unknown space rocks that we're moving through. The only thing, so what's going to answer that question? Well, scientists can look at things like the trajectory of the meteors. Did they all come into the atmosphere at the same angle? And I know one example is no. For example, the first one that hit in Ohio that's estimated to be 7 tons and bigger than the size of a car, that one hit at a different angle, higher up in the sky, like at a more sweeping angle to the atmosphere and to the Earth than the one in Texas did, which is the reason why the one in Texas was smaller and crashed through the woman's house roof, as opposed to the one that was much, much bigger in Ohio and did not crash through anybody's roof. Did make it to the ground, though, in smaller pieces. So I think the answer probably is that they're unrelated. My second guess would be that maybe we are going through some particularly kind of dusty or rocky part of our orbit that we didn't know about.
Now, some speculate that this is the debris field of 3I Atlas. Y'all remember 3I Atlas, the ridiculous scientist that was making all these outlandish claims that this is alien technology and this is was a controlled vehicle or controlled mechanism through aliens and all that. I mean, there was so much hype on this. It was on every network, every evening, podcasters, TikTok, social media, and it was a big nothing burger. But there is some out there that are investigating. It's a current investigation that this could be the debris field that when 3I Atlas came in, this massive comet, that it's pulling all of this debris field in with it, and then as the comet has passed through, now we're getting the debris field that's following in. I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't work for NASA. I'm not an astronomer. We're only giving you all these scenarios here.
And that's it. But what you need to know is these meteors happen thousands of times a day. Just tens of thousands, maybe. Just most of them are teeny tiny. They're just like little grains of dust, or not dust, but like sand and pebbles and stuff. And then there's a few hundred that actually hit the ground every year.
But think about this just before I let you go. That
70% of the planet is covered in ocean. So the vast majority of anything, like, even when those satellites come down out of space, most of the time they crash into the water because 70% of the Earth is water. Another huge percentage is completely uninhabited land. Like, think about how vast Siberia is, or, the Rocky Mountains or something like that, where there's not that many people that live there. So the vast majority of the time these things hit or can be seen from areas where there's nobody there to take a picture of it.
Okay. What's interesting, I'm just going to throw this out there, and it has now been confirmed on this. This is interesting, and has been confirmed. We're talking about the Great Comet. They're calling this the Great Comet. Is heading for the sun on April the 4th. Now, I looked it up, and we are talking about this is going to happen in a time frame of Passover on the Hebrew calendar. We did a podcast on this, last week? I can't even keep track of this, guys. We do so many podcasts, I can't remember. But I think it was last week. We talked about this comet that is heading for the sun on April the 4th. At that time, they didn't know when. They didn't have a date. Now they're saying April 4th. Again, this is in the time frame of Passover on the Hebrew calendar. Let's read this a little bit. The sky could host a brief but remarkable event in early April the 26th, April 2026. Astronomers are closely tracking a newly discovered sun-grazing comet. And again, this is in the classifications of great comets. I'll tell you why that's significant in just a second in case you missed last week's podcast. Officially named C-2026A1 MAPS. As reported by Universe Today, it was first observed in January by a team operating telescopes in Chile's Atacama Desert. What makes this comet notable is not just its trajectory, but the conditions it will face. It is set to pass extremely close to the sun, a region where many comets do not survive. Current data suggests that, quote, if it remains intact after this passage, it could be visible from Earth for a short time. The outcome is uncertain, but the observation leading up to April already providing valuable scientific insights. The comet is predicted to reach its the full cycle, its closest point to the sun on April 4th, 2026. Current orbital solutions place this distance at about 1.18 solar radii from the sun's center. In practical terms, this is about 160,000 kilometers above the sun's visible surface. Now, if this thing survives, what they're saying, and I don't have it in this article, what they're saying, if this thing survives, this could go down, and we don't know. The likelihood it won't, okay? But let's just say if it does. They are saying that this will go down in the classification as one of the most visible comets that can be seen with the naked eye. Now again, just throwing this out there, this is very interesting to me, that's all I'm saying. I know some of my brothers out there, they don't like when I talk about this. They get a little nervous about this. They're just like, brother, you be careful, you're getting into all this kind of weird stuff. But look, guys, I don't want to get into all this, I don't want to rehash this, but I do believe Luke 21. Jesus said there will be great and fearful sights from heaven, A, and B, he said there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and these are going to be precursors leading up to the coming of the Lord. That's why we pay attention to this stuff. Now, consequently, two of the major comets, these major comets, these giant comets, these significant comets, great comets is what they're calling them, the last two times that were very notable that they were visible from the naked eye, as we pointed out in our last podcast, was in 1882, which consequently was during the Anglo-Egyptian War. That was noticeable because it fundamentally changed the balance of power in the Middle East and North Africa. And then the second time was in 1965, and this is historians say this was a turning point for the Vietnam War. And by the end of 1965, the United States was fully committed to a massive conventional ground and air war. Now, again, what is interesting to me is, I don't know if you saw the latest reports. Again, we'll get more into this with Pastor Tom, but we're sending about 3,000 more troops into Iran. It looks as if we're going to have troops on the ground. And I just think it's interesting. That's all I'm saying. And it's coming through right in during Passover. All right? Then we've got this story. I thought this was intriguing, and it caught my attention. The moon was struck by a, quote, massive object. They don't even know what this was. But a massive object struck the moon, and it was so large and so impactful that NASA declared it a once-in-a-century event. Look at this. A routine scan of the moon has revealed a fresh scar around the length of 2 football pitches laid end to end. Now, this is from the Mirror. This is a UK affiliate. As NASA continues with its Artemis 2 mission to return humans there. A massive new impact crater has been discovered on the moon, and scientists say it's the kind of event only seen once in a century. Now look at the common theme of this whole podcast. Once in a lifetime, once in a century, unusual, abnormal. I mean, you as Pastor Tom says all the time, you can't make this stuff up. The finding comes after a routine scan of images captured by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera, which revealed a fresh scar stretching roughly 225 meters, about the length of 2 football pitches laid end to end. That's 2 football fields. Okay? While the moon has been collecting impact craters for billions of years, again, and I say that with my hand, my fingers up here, billions of years. I don't want to get into the pre-Adamite world and how there can be some consensus there between Genesis chapter 1 verses 1 verse 2. There's a gap there. I don't want to get into all that, but it could explain why this carbon dating dates this stuff all back. So it doesn't really shake my faith when I read this kind of stuff, but nevertheless, the latest one stands out for its size. Based on comparisons with surrounding lunar features, researchers estimate a crater, I can't even say this word, crater, good grief, of this size should only form once every 139 years, making the discovery, here it is, exceptionally rare. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So there's the picture. There's the image of it. That's a huge crater. Obviously, if that would have struck Earth, we'd be cooked. All right? So what's the point I'm trying to make here? We've got a lot of weird stuff happening, guys. A lot of very incredible things that are taking place. Now, I want to show you something else here. Now, I'm going to pull this up on full screen, so you're not going to see me on here on the screen, but you can hear me talking here. Look at this headline. This is from the European Space Agency. I don't know if some of y'all remember this, but there is an asteroid that's going to do an extremely close flyby on 2029, 3 years from now, and it is called Apophis. I'm going to read this headline. Earth's gravity will alter Apophis orbit during 2029 flyby. Now, of all the names they could name this asteroid, they had to name it Apophis. Really? I'll pull this up on the screen. You can just see it right there. I just Googled it. Apophis is the ancient Egyptian deity of chaos, darkness, and destruction. Now, let me say that again for the Apple and Spotify folks. The name Apophis that they chose to name this asteroid is the Egyptian deity of chaos, darkness, and destruction. Some of y'all will know who this is, some of y'all won't, but there is a author and speaker. Now, he has passed on. He went on to be with the Lord a few years ago, but his name was Tom Horn. Now, Now, Tom Horn claims that he had a series of dreams that he believed were prophetic in nature, that they were warnings of God. He wrote entire books on this, and he talks about this Apophis asteroid he believed would be wormwood of Revelation chapter 8. Now, now this is an older article, but I pulled it up from Charisma, and I'm going to show you from his own words here what he said. Horn connects the asteroid Apophis set for a close Earth flyby in 2029. There it is, with the wormwood prophecy of Revelation 8. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's John the Revelator saw an asteroid coming out of heaven striking the Earth, and it causes catastrophic. We're talking about an ELE, extinction level event, when it strikes the ocean. He explained if Apophis is, that's the key, is the fulfillment of the wormwood prophecy, Revelation chapter 8, that would happen in the middle of the Great Tribulation period. If that were the case, he said, you would count backward 3.5 years to arrive at the beginning of what is called the 7-year Great Tribulation. So, in other words, Horn is saying, so let's do the math here, ladies and gentlemen. If that's true, if wormwood is going to strike the earth in 2029, fulfilling Revelation 8 and being, if Apophis is going to strike the earth in 2029, fulfilling Revelation chapter 8 and being wormwood of the Bible, and if that's supposed to happen mid-tribulation, which it is, then, ladies and gentlemen, that has to mean that we are currently right now, as of going into March of 2026, that would have to put us right now in the tribulation. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not in the tribulation. Now, I want to say, I want to put a caveat here. Could there still be something happen with Apophis? Possible. Very possible. It may not be the fulfillment of wormwood, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't catch, some fragments of this stuff. I mean, you can't, look at the predictive programming on this stuff. Look at Armageddon. Look at these other apocalyptic movies that they made, where it had this depiction of where there was asteroids coming in, and they had to send a nuke up, or they had to detonate a nuke on the asteroid itself to blow it up and to separate it to fragments, but those fragments still entered into the Earth's atmosphere. Okay, then look at the movie Greenland with Jared Butler. And then they had Greenland too, and that was the result of all these meteors and stuff falling on the Earth. And it's like all the predictive programming is here. It's been laid out, and it's almost like they've been telling us what's coming. So this is very intriguing. I don't believe it's wormwood, because we're not in the tribulation. But again, it doesn't mean that something can't happen from this. It'll be very interesting, because what they depicted in that movie Armageddon, they're saying that they would actually try to carry this kind of situation out. So could we actually see that take place?
All right, everybody, give me a moment here. I'm trying to fix this, so I apologize. I wasn't expecting this to happen during this. So give me a moment. As you heard, it is some crazy things with this, and I'd have to agree that this is either two things. We're getting close to things really going crazy, which wouldn't surprise me. Another possibility is that this is all the government getting close to Project Bluebeam, or it's going to set off Project Bluebeam through the government, because that's what they're waiting on. Now, the reason I say this is because they're all part of the elite. They're all in on this to think that they can defeat and, keep on either going and running the world. There's so many theories here, but I would have to go with that, because we shouldn't be that close to Revelations yet. But things are starting to happen. What I think most likely is the introduction of fallen angels, and as what they call aliens, true aliens. Then it's going to set off another war with these ancient tribes, I'll put it. So, I mean, it blows my mind in what's going on in the government. And what really blows it is NASA has all this stuff, and they didn't see it and didn't know what it was until later. So, or that's what they're claiming that it is, and it's something else. There's so many things, but I believe NASA's all full of crap, as usual. They've always been full of crap. Am I not right? Come on. Exactly. We know. So, in truth to be told, that's what I believe. I believe it's all hocus pocus, a majority of it, to get us in the area of control, or for people to beg for, and plead for the government for help, and then they're going to request what they want to request, and that it's all part of an agenda. Let me put it that way. And we're getting close to that agenda. Well, for them, their agenda. So, that's the problem with that. And a lot of us ain't seeing it. We're not opening our eyes to it. And that's another major problem. And that's why I've told many of my friends to be prepared. Some of them don't think that this is their war, because they don't believe a whole lot of the situation, but it don't matter. You're going to be a part of that war, because you're going to be made to choose sides. They're going to make you, and if you don't choose a side, then they're going to assume you're choosing the other side, or just stalling, and that's going to be a problem for them. So, if you all think that because you're not a believer, but you're also not satanic and that, and you don't want to choose sides, and the war doesn't involve you, you're wrong. The war, unfortunately, is going to involve everybody. And like I said, you're going to have to make a choice. And that's why I'm on here, is you want to make the right choice. I'm telling you. They're not going to succeed. The elite, they're going to fail, as always. They have always failed, and they will continue to fail. It's just how it's meant to be. As of now, they've succeeded for so long, temporarily, and that's how things are, temporarily, for evil. And it blows my mind that we just keep going on and on and on with our lives, and we don't do nothing about it. And we gotta start doing something about it. Like, we can't go and use evil against evil. It don't work that way, unfortunately. And I'm here to help you all out, okay? And I'll be able to expose one day a lot of reason behind that. As of now, only very few that I've trusted know what I'm talking about, know what I've done for this government, that I was misled, along with millions of others that have been misled, and you have been misled. You have been lied to. We've all been lied to, and unfortunately, that's just the way the world is working right now. Is we're all going to be lied to and misled, and it's an unfortunate event. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. Help each other out. The key to this life is to help each other out. And I'm not just saying that just to say that. That's the truth. We're being misled about a lot of things, and it's an unfortunate thing. So it's just the world's gonna get crazier and crazier. If you think it's gonna get better, or this is just for the time being, now it's gonna get worse, my friends, and it's gonna get worse fast. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And sorry, I'm doing a lot of stuff here, but I wanted to get this done and speak about it because it's been weighing heavily on my mind, and I didn't want to just like not get it out there or something come up and I get too busy, because I'm very busy with, you know, a lot of things during the day, with speaking with sources that are really scared to come out, and I try to spend as much time with my family as possible, just in case they would come after me. So that's and I want to spend time as much time as possible with my child and my wife before that happens. And if you want to speak out, go ahead. I wouldn't be too scared, because if you're a believer already, you have nothing to worry about. You're going to go to heaven. And if your family is believers, they are going to join you in heaven. So really, nothing to really stress about on that level. Because of now, it's not going to be torture. It'll be just quick, because that's what they're doing now, is quick. And as for these scientists that are going missing, that's going to continue to happen to those ones that are speaking out. And look at them, they're brave and out. Now some are smart enough to disappear after so long, but they're going to come out and they're going to show you that what they are saying is true, and you're going to find out, because they're going to tell you everything. And that's really what we need. We need more people that are going to be honest with, you know, everybody, like I'm trying to be. And not just on here, on TikTok, on Facebook, and everything else. They're doing it for a reason. They're not conspiracy theorists. Not all of them. You might have some that are just talking and blowing it and blowing smoke, but that's not all of them. There's a lot of them that are speaking the truth, as I am. Now mine is because of what I used to do in the government. I worked my way up, just like anybody, and was lied and misled. I was believed that it would help people, that it would, you know, help people survive and protect people and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, I fell into their trap, and then it was too late when I realized what the real agenda was, but then it wasn't too late because I was able to get out. Even though it was a long, long time, and my agenda was for everybody. Their agendas for themselves. And for those that are rich and powerful and have tons of money and that are smart and genius, and so on and so forth. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about nobody. They're greedy. And if you think Trump is all about the people, he'd be doing something about it. And he would be arguing the fact that he is president. And the president should have more control than the Senate. And for now, the Senate is withholding. So, how is that working out? So, either Trump is not that bright, or Trump's a part of it. And truth be told, I'm sorry for you people that believe in Trump. I believe he's a part of it. I think he's just playing the game for entertainment purposes, as usual, that these people play. And that's what you guys don't understand. Is this is all a game to them and entertainment. They sit back, laugh, and joke around, and, you know, having a good time, and think it's all funny and want entertainment. In reality, they don't care. And truthfully, Trump hasn't really proved to me anything yet. And you've got those that believe otherwise, or you can argue. You can't breathe anymore. I'm gonna tell you, it's all trickery. It's all game, and I would know. And those that I know, like my sources, will tell you the same thing. And there's a lot. There's a lot. And like I said, eventually these sources will come on here, but it has to be on their time, which we got to respect that, because what they're going to talk about is a big risk for them and their families. And that's the problem. And I ain't gonna let them risk their family and themselves unless they are okay with it. They have to be ready for that. So that's just that. But I want to thank you guys for coming on here. Please share, like, comment, and I'll answer your comments. Like, I don't have a problem with that. So I want to thank my beautiful wife, because she has supported me in this. I want to thank my friend Cliff. He has supported me in this as well and helping me through with a lot of stuff, so I want to thank him. Definitely need to check out and subscribe to him. He loves to play video games. He has Rift Jerky on Twitch, and he also has CM Drunk on YouTube. Check those out. Definitely check those out. Go and download Twitch, look up Rift Jerky, and trust me, you'll love. He plays Dead by Daylight and a few other games. So I appreciate everybody else, my other subscribers. I appreciate you, and my followers. Appreciate you guys, and all you viewers. I want to thank you for taking the time and watching my video. I just recommend that you subscribe, so that way right away you can get updates on everything that's going on, because every video I'll be doing updates to everything that's going on. And like I said, I'm gonna have pretty big people coming on here that's when they're ready. These sources of mine, they will come on here. They've promised me over and over, and they've I've known them forever, and when they make a promise, they keep their word. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Be prepared, because when things go down too, I'm telling you, when things start to go real bad and you don't know what's going on because the news ain't reporting and no one's talking, that's when you're going to need somebody. And I'm that guy. I'm that one that's going to report you the truth and what's really going on. The news is just going to, brush it over or give you a small portion of it. I'm going to give you the whole thing, because I know what's going on, because my sources will reach out to me before even the news hears what's going on. So I'll be the first to report it. So that's what I'm saying. Subscribe, so that way your notification hits that I'm on, and you'll know. Okay? Because I'm soon going to be start doing lives here, and those lives are going to be consistent every day for probably like maybe 4 or 5 hours straight. We're going to talk about everything in those, and I'm going to answer my followers and my subscribers and the viewers. If you want to comment, and that I'll be able to see all your comments coming in, and I'll be able to talk to you personally. I'm not that guy that's going to ignore all of you and not talk to you and just go on about what I'm saying. No, the whole purpose of me, for you, I'm working for you to report. I'm working for you to tell you the truth. I'm working for you to get the stuff that you want to know and deserve to know. Alright? So have a great day. I'll probably be back on again. Enjoy.